Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Healthy Orange Movie Reviews. I'm your host and editor-in-chief, Bennett Campbell Ferguson, and I'm joined by my wonderful panel of fellow film critics, starting with Maxwell Myers.
Hello, from the other side.
Well said. And Patrick Bellin. And Mo Shawnetz.
I'm very tired.
That's my line usually.
Alright, well today we're here to review Star Wars The Force Awakens. Since this is not any ordinary film, it's a Star Wars film, it's part of a pop culture that means a lot to, I think all of us, I think I speak for all of us when I say that. Because of that I want to start off a little differently. I want to begin by saying that, I think you all know this. I'm, in addition to being a film lover, I'm a Star Wars fan in particular. I grew up, reading Star Wars comics, collecting Star Wars action figures, and because of my, fandom, I went into this movie really wanting to have a wonderful experience. But I have to confess, I did not. This did not feel so much like a movie to me as a welding together of all the best scenes from all the other movies, kind of slammed into this this awkward sort of very overly familiar, sometimes even boring package, and also we'll go into spoilers later, but I'll keep this part spoiler free. As you all know by now, there's a beloved Star Wars character who dies, and that for me just kind of ruined the whole experience, because I think these characters that we've grown up with, they're not normal movie characters. They're a part of our lives. They offer comfort. They offer inspiration, and because of that, I think you have to treat them differently. I mean, J.K. Rowling knew better than to kill off Ron and Hermione in the last Harry Potter book. But enough of what I have to say. I want to hear what all of you have to say. Starting with Mo.
I thought this was a very good pilot episode to a show. I had fun with it. I had fun as as a moviegoer, as a casual Star Wars fan. But watching it, you do get the sense that this is that there's more going on. That there's way more than just not even just the stuff in the margins. There's major character backstory and motivation that isn't revealed yet. And you gotta wait a year and a half until you can find out the rest of the story, and that kind of bugs me. Sure. But on its own, as a movie, it's solid. It's entertaining. I had fun. I like the effects. I love the actors. I enjoyed it.
Patrick, what about you?
I really enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I don't consider myself a Star Wars fan per se. I'm not a huge fan of J.J. Abrams, so I went in with those expectations, and I really enjoyed it. I have some minor gripes. I thought while I was watching it, there was a little bit. They were kind of pushing the whole nostalgic angle to it,
sure,
and it was kind of getting a little much. But the more I think about it, the more I saw what they were trying to do with it. It was reinvigorating this whole thing and kicking off this new story arc. And I think they executed it brilliantly. The more I think about what happened in the film. Are we doing spoilers?
Let's get into those at the end. Yeah.
Okay, so
we will get into spoilers.
I thought the spoilers, plural, were done respectfully. I think they could have done it. They could have been really flippant and crappy about it, but I thought they did it pretty well. But overall, I enjoyed it. I'm planning to see it again.
Yeah.
All right, Max.
I would also put myself into the category of casual Star Wars fan. I love the movies, don't get me wrong, they're tons of fun, they have a piece in history, but when they announced they were going to do another Star Wars, I wasn't like, yeah! I was like, well, obviously, because Disney just bought it up, what are they going to do, just sit on that?
$4 billion there.
Oh, I can't believe it. But, as it got closer, I didn't want to see opening night, but as it got closer and I was buying the tickets, I was like, actually, I'm kind of excited. So I think I hit the appropriate excitement level. And when it started, I just felt good. It was a pretty good movie. I think as far as a Star Wars film goes, it's a really great Star Wars film. comparatively. I mean,
one of the last three.
yeah, and so that's why. But I'm like, so I think some people are skewing it slightly in the sense they're like, it's really great. I'm like, no, it's really great for a Star Wars film. We're just excited because it's so much better. It's exactly what we needed it to be, as opposed to me. I'm looking at it, I'm like, as far as the movie goes, I'm like, that's pretty good, pretty good. I wouldn't like. I'm not planning on seeing it in theaters again, but I'll probably buy it and watch it again on DVD, Blu-ray. Sounds great. I enjoyed it a lot. I felt like they were really passing the baton.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of movies are trying to do that, but at the same time, they didn't pass it fully. I feel like Mo said, they've left open some things, which felt nice too, because it wasn't like, here's the old cast, it's all on the new cast now, goodbye forever. It was just like, here it is, this is what we're doing, we're setting up some things. I had some minor issues here and there as well. Again, but overall, really good movie. I enjoyed it a lot.
I mean, in addition to being the latest installment in the Star Wars series, this is the latest installment in, J.J. Abrams' career of features that he's directed. So I'm just curious if you guys have any thoughts about, like this is a J.J. Abrams movie, or does it not feel like a J.J. movie? Does it feel like more like a Star Wars movie, and how it's furthering, him as, an auteur? Because while I would argue that, he's made a lot of mistakes, I definitely think he has a sort of a signature authorial style.
No, he does.
Where Abrams is now kind of reminds me of like a younger Spielberg. I would like to see Abrams work with a more mature director of photography, because he works with the same person, and it gives his films a certain look. But if he worked with a different cinematographer who can kind of balance out his style with a more mature photography style, like Janusz Kaminski, or I forget who the other guy that works with Spielberg, I think we'd see a much more mature Abrams.
Could you
imagine?
imagine?
A very kind of hyperactive.
Yeah.
Could you imagine J.J. Abrams doing a movie like Schindler's List? Because up until Schindler's List, no one ever considered Spielberg as like a director. They're like, oh, he's that guy that does all the family movies and the space stuff.
Blockbusters.
Yeah, they're like, but I mean, then he's like, I'm doing Schindler's List, and you watch, you're like, oh wow, this guy has something to say. I almost would. I think at this point, I might want to see J.J. Abrams take something anchored in reality just to see what he can do, because I really feel like that's the test. That's the only thing that makes.
This
Spielberg
is an observation that someone made when J.J. Abrams was announced, and I think I agree with it. Is that you don't really know what his artistic soul is. You don't really see that on screen. Like if you look at other auteurs, other directors, you know how they feel. You know like where their head's at, what they care about. Like with Steven Spielberg, he does love this genre stuff, and he does love these family pictures, but he's also got a lot of abandonment issues, which come up on screen a lot. And you know him through his movies, but you don't really get that through J.J. Abrams. Like he's really good at mimicking other people's style, but I don't feel like I know him through his movies. Well, so I don't know what he would do with something that personal or that's like big and grand that isn't just a spectacle.
But you'll never know until he does it, and that's why I'm like, maybe he should just do it.
It would be an experiment, I would say.
Otherwise, he's always just going to be viewed as the science fiction director. Which, I mean, is fine if that's all you want to be, but maybe he doesn't want to be anything else. But at the same time, I don't know. I feel like when you're in a field that you want to be in, which I'm going to guess he wants to, judging by how much he's directed, you'd at one point go, you know what? I kind of wanted to win an Oscar. And I granted there's all about artistic integrity and doing what you love and being recognized for it, but at the same time you go, these people don't respect me, they all view me as this one thing.
Sure.
I gotta change the pace and I gotta do this. And just finding that one thing that you're like as Spielberg was like, I'm Jewish. Let's talk about World War II. Let's talk about the Holocaust. Something that does mean something to him. And you pick that film, and then you do that, and then people go, oh wow, you're not just that blockbuster director. You have something. What else do you have? And granted, maybe he doesn't want to go down that path, and maybe he's completely fine being the science fiction director. But, like you said, how am I ever going to know your soul? How am I ever going to strive or want to see you strive to succeed? But at the same time, when all you're doing are just these things.
Because he's got talent. I would be interested to see what he does when he's putting his heart and soul on the screen.
Yeah.
Well, I want to speak to both of you guys' points. I mean, first of all, I with the Schindler's List thing, and Spielberg going thinking he could do that until he did. I mean, I think every like sci-fi blockbuster director should try something without action, because I think I think you haven't been truly tested until you've tried to tell a story where not a lot happens, and you have to make it interesting when things are a little quieter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I want everybody to do that. I want someone once joked about Christopher Nolan doing a romantic comedy. I want to see that. I think that would test him like nothing else.
I would try it. Yeah.
And also as far as like J.J. Abrams' soul, I think you raise a good point, Mo, and I think it's like I see maybe I'm not sure about his soul either, because he hasn't been directing that long, directing movies. I see less of a soul than a recurring pattern. Like often in movies, this film included, this films begin with a death. Death is something he's clearly interested in exploring.
It's a good kicking off point. If
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
You're instantly got conflict.
Yeah, and
Shit's
also
real fast.
Speaking of which,
And
that's
also-
another thing that the sequel movies have to answer. Who was Max von Sydow?
oh yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's an annoying hanging thread.
Wait,
But the other
was he in this?
Yeah.
yeah,
Was
it's
he
very
the voice
beginning,
of-
yeah,
He's the guy who gives Poe the map.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then
that was like the
Right.
Kylo
smallest
Ren kills him.
yeah.
All right, there we go.
But the other thing is, I think the motif, and again this film plays into it, is that this films are always about a team of people coming together to fight evil, which is that's a lot of films. But I think it's interesting that he sticks to that time and time again.
Yeah, it's not a bad formula.
Yeah,
So maybe
and
you're saying his soul is on the screen. It's just we have to look a little bit closer.
Yeah.
I think maybe. I think I think there are J.J. Abrams motifs that come up in each film, and for me, his best film, and actually one of my favorite films of all time, is his first Star Trek movie, because I think it's such a powerful story. Kirk's father dying, and then he has to decide what's he going to do with his life, and become the hero that he became in the original timeline. And for me, the other Abrams films after that fell short and didn't have that power. But it's because of these, because he does seem to have a voice that like I remain optimistic. I feel like he hasn't always done it for me, but let's give him a chance. Let's talk about J.J. Abrams when he's made 10 films.